Hey there, problem solvers. Welcome to writing. You all have been doing such an amazing job on your Women in Government project that I am so excited to continue it with you. So that is what we're going to work on today. Now, our goal is to finish up the write stage of this project by the end of this week. I know that we all could probably work on this for much longer, but there is a deadline and we need to make sure that we're working to keep it. So, our goal is to finish up write and move on to revision by the end of this week. I'm going to show you how I turn my notes into full sentences and full paragraphs so that you guys can feel set up for success to do the same with your notes because you all took such gorgeous notes. So let me show you the planning sheet that I filled out about a woman in government named Shirley Chisholm. Share screen. All right, here's my planning sheet. You see that I have written my entire introduction paragraph and my entire concluding paragraph. So that's already done. I don't need to worry about that in the write stage. The thing I do want to focus on are my details in each subtopic. Do you see how my notes here are written in fragmented sentences? We've been talking a lot lately in writing about the difference between full sentences and fragmented sentences. And I've been really pushing you guys to write in full sentences. But guess what? When you're taking notes, that's one of the only times where I'm going to encourage you to write in fragmented sentences. Why do you think that is? I'm going to tell you. If you write down your notes in fragmented sentences, taking only key words from the articles and the books that you're reading, it's going to really help you avoid plagiarism and write your information in your own words. Do you guys remember what that word means? Plagiarism or to plagiarize? Sometimes when we're in an article, such as this one, it can be really easy to find a sentence like this and want to copy it down word for word because it's a great piece of information, right? So it can be really easy to want to copy it down or even copy and paste it to avoid typing. That is really counterproductive. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you take somebody else's writing word for word like this and put it into your own paper, you are taking credit for work and for writing that they did without giving them credit. And that's called plagiarizing, which is actually illegal. And when you get up to high school and college, your professors are going to check for that. And they will not accept anything that is plagiarized. I know I had to send all my college papers in through a website that scans the entire internet to see if they can find similar writing, to see if you're plagiarizing. So it can be caught very easily. So let's talk about how to avoid that, right? I took the sentence, Shirley Anita St. Hill was born on November 30th, 1924 in Brooklyn, New York to immigrant parents. Beautiful sentence. Did I write it down word for word? I did not. I went over here and I just wrote birthday, 11/30/1924, Brooklyn, New York. That way, when I go into my write stage, I can take that vital information, those key words, and I can still turn them into a full sentence, but I can turn them into a different full sentence that is written in my own words. So maybe I'll write something like, Shirley Chisholm's birthday is on November 30th in the year 1924. She was born in the New York City borough of Brooklyn to immigrant parents. Sure, there were phrases in there that were the same, but the phrasing was my own. Do you see the difference there? It's very important. So now that I went over how to avoid plagiarism, let's go into it in a little bit more detail. What do you think? Why don't you watch me turn just one of these subtopics into a paragraph? Because remember, by the time that I am done with this paper, I will have 5 paragraphs. My introduction, subtopic 1, early life, subtopic 2, presidential campaign, and subtopic 3, her legacy, as well as my concluding paragraph. So I'm not going to worry about anything else right now except for the first paragraph about her early life. So, do you guys remember how to open a Google Doc? I'm going to go over here. I'm already signed in. If you are not signed into Google, take some time to do that on your own Google account. Don't forget that information is in your Dojo Drive if you ever forget it. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on Docs. And I'm going to select a blank doc. Now, when you are doing this, you are going to, first thing you're going to do, remember, name and date. It's her birthday. Oh my goodness, guys, it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Shirley. So now that I got my name and date, I got a little distracted there, but I'm back. I'm focused. Now that I got my name and date, don't forget to go over to share and share it with me so I can see your progress and your paper, and so I can help you grow and succeed as a writer. Okay? All right, let's go. You know what? If it might actually be easier, check this out. If you guys ever want to see your paper and your notes at the same time, you can click on the tab and drag it right out. If you're doing it on a tablet, it might not work like that, but you can absolutely do that if you're on a computer. All right, so we're going to write a paragraph about her early life. Are you ready? The first thing we do is talk about her birthday. We already had a beautiful sentence or two about her birthday. Shirley Chisholm was born on the 30th of November. Happy birthday, Shirley. In the year 1924. She was born in the New York City borough. Oh, look at that predictive text. New York City borough of Brooklyn. To immigrant parents. Beautiful. First sentence done. 3 younger siblings. So how do I turn the fragment 3 younger siblings into a sentence? She was raised with 3 younger siblings. Guys, if you ever see predictive text like that pop up, did you see how I did that? Let me show you. Do you see how there's like that faint word siblings in there? That's Google Docs being like, are you trying to write siblings? Use those tools. They're there for you for a reason. All you have to do is click the right arrow on your keyboard and it puts it in. She was raised with 3 younger siblings. Okay, so now we've got the fragment. Father, factory worker. How do we turn that into a sentence? Her father was her father worked in a factory. I like how that sounds better. Remember, I'm not going back to my article to find more information. All I'm doing during the write process is taking the information on my planning sheet and turning it into a paragraph. If after I do that step, If then I decide that, you know what, I think this could really use more information, then I can go back during the revision stage and find more information. But for right now, I'm just taking the information on my planning sheet and turning it into paragraphs. Her father worked in a factory. Good. We have mother seamstress next. Her mother worked as a seamstress. That's somebody who makes clothes. All right, she lived in Barbados for 5 years. So how could I turn that into a sentence? She moved to Barbados for 5 years of her life. Attended Brooklyn College is the next one. So without even finishing the sentence, I'm going to go, she moved to Barbados for 5 years of her life and then moved back to New York. To attend Brooklyn College. Beautiful. Okay. What do you guys think? Do you think my paragraph is done? How can we check? Don't forget, our resources are right here on the Problem Solver class website. You can go right down, click on these posters right here, everything we've been working on in writing. So, do I have complete sentences? It looks to me like all of these have a subject and a predicate. I'm pretty happy with that. Is there a topic sentence? You know what? The sentence Shirley Chisholm was born on the 30th of November in the year 1924 kind of dives right into the details and doesn't really set up my reader for what we're learning about. So maybe I'll say Shirley Chisholm had a full and interesting life before she appeared in the public eye. That way my reader knows that we're learning about her early life in this paragraph. She moved to Barbados for 5 years of her life and then moved back to New York to attend Brooklyn College. It was there that she became inspired to run for government office. That is going to be my concluding sentence, because not only does it wrap up that we're done talking about her early life, it leads me into my next paragraph, which is about her presidential campaign. Does that make sense? Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm pretty happy with this paragraph. During the write stage, your paper should look something like this times 5. Remember, I'm looking for 5 paragraphs, which can seem overwhelming, but it's really not if you take it one paragraph at a time. All right. I also want to remind you that paragraphs start with an indentation, which means you go to the beginning and click the tab button. So the first line of every paragraph has this big space in the beginning. That's how we know a new paragraph is beginning. All right, well, now it's your turn. So I'm going to meet you guys on Zoom so that we can work together to complete your Women in Government project. And do not worry, none of the progress that you've made in school was lost. It's all saved on your Class Dojo portfolio. Okay? I can't wait to see you guys soon on Zoom, and we'll get started. See ya.